Pastor, are you frustrated? So was the psalmist. Psalms 12, verse 1 says, Lord, help, the godly man has ceased to be. I'm mindful of what Pastor Tom Hughes from 412 Church has written. He said, the world is in crisis and we need godly men, and we need them now. And that's the reason I've written the Man Code, and that's the reason I have joined this year, 2023, the Fatherhood Impact Award with TakeCharge. Kendall, thanks for joining me. What is the Fatherhood Award?
You know, it's quite simple, Mark. It is really a resource for pastors to recognize men in their congregations that are just living godly lives, honoring their families, and we get the chance to recognize them and award them and elevate them in the public arena for what good looks like. Godly men honoring their families, doing the right things day in and day out. They don't ask for anything. They just do it. And we're going to recognize them, and they're going to get an award for it, but they also public recognition in the local paper for it as well.
Wow, you know, I love that, because you know what? Dads are constantly attacked. The nuclear family is constantly attacked. And you're turning that around and saying, no, the men who are loving their wives, training their children, assuming responsibility, these are the ones that we need to reward and honor. Man, bless you for that.
Yes, it's fun. It's fun.
So Kendall, what's the goal of this award?
Well, I can tell you my personal goal for this is radical transformation. We want to see families restored, men that are walking, and not only just walking in the ways of the God, but other men following them. A radical transformation that restores what it means to be a godly man. We don't have enough examples of it. And this gives us an opportunity to elevate it to a whole new level.
And you think about young men all of a sudden not hearing about, you know, how men are toxic and how men are evil, but like, no, these are the champions. These are the guys you want to be. And
that's right.
Our daughters going, wow, that's the kind of man I want to marry.
That's exactly right.
It's huge.
Yes.
What a great goal. Kendall, why is this so important?
You know, it's sad, Mark, that what we have in our country right now is we have the highest level of kids growing up in fatherless homes in the world.
That's crazy.
Now, the Pew Research Center actually has done this study. It was released in 2019. And I'm just surprised alarm bells are not ringing all across the land, because this is prominent in the black community, but it's spreading in a lot of other communities, right? Today, 23% of our children are growing up without a dad in the home. Now, that's larger than any other country in the world, and it's 3 times larger than the worldwide average. This is not something we want to be number one in. So this is that first step. I pray that this award becomes the first of many things to help turn that trajectory around.
Well, you know what? Only those who are followers of Jesus are interested in turning that around. I mean, think about the world. They want to destroy the nuclear family. We're saying the nuclear family is precious in the sight of God, and men, you've got to take the lead. You got to assume responsibility for yourself, for your family, for the glory of God.
Absolutely.
Amen. So Kendall, what is the criteria to winning the award?
Well, it's funny you asked that question, Mark. You know, that criteria might be something you're familiar with. It's from the Man Code. It is really the criteria, are these godly men? Do they honor their wives? Do they train their children? Do they take responsibility? These are the same criteria that we're going to use for the award. And in fact, the winners actually will get a copy of the book.
Awesome. Is there any other elements to this award?
Well, absolutely. They will get a monetary gift card, you know, a sizable amount that they can make a difference. They get a certificate, and we're going to take a professional photograph and have that photograph put in the local paper. We're going to take out a half-page ad, and that ad will have the picture of the winners, the church, the pastor, all that. So it's something, again, if we want certain kind of behaviors, this is a great way to elevate that in a local and a national level.
Well, hey, Revive Church is already in. So what you're telling me as a pastor, we're going to award some of the men in our church, and their picture is going to show up in the newspaper. Pastors, do you understand the implications of that? This is telling our community what we value. We value godly men who fear God, assume responsibility, love their wife, train their children, love the gospel in the church. I mean, this is massive. This is going to affect our church. It's going to affect our communities, and it's going to impact the nation. Man, I just love your heart for that. Well, how do the pastors How do we as pastors sign up our church? How do we become part of this?
Yeah, you know what? We want to make this as turnkey as possible for pastors. So on our website at TakeChargeMN.com, that's TakeChargeMikeNovember.com. If they go to the website, they'll see a tab for the Fatherhood Award. Just fill out the information that they ask. We'll send you the information, download a form, and very easy.
Turnkey.
Turnkey.
Thank you so much. That's awesome. We pastors need turnkey.
That's right.
Amen. So I want you pastors to catch this. I mean, we're talking about our church allowing people to nominate people within our church that have assumed responsibility, that love their wife, that train their children, that love the gospel in the church. And we nominate them, and then they receive the reward. The picture is taken, and think about this. Your city is going to see, Revived Church, Fatherhood Impact Award given to, and then there's the individual, the man in your church. Friends, this is a great opportunity to honor something that is precious inside of God, that God has told us to cherish, and that's the nuclear family, and these men need to be honored for that. Kendall, thank you so much for loving the Lord. Again, how do we find you? What's the webpage?
Yep, it's TakeChargeMN.com, Mike November. And then you'll find it right there. And again, there's a Fatherhood Award tab at the top of the webpage.
Kendall, thank you for being a godly man. Thank you for being someone that doesn't just complain about things, but finds real solutions in our day. Now, pastors, I got a challenge for you. Our church is already signed up. We're already in because we value the things in the scriptures, and we want to honor men for doing great things, not just complain about men who are doing the wrong things. Secondly, I want to challenge you right now to think of 10 pastors you can reach out to and invite them to join you. Maybe they're in your city, maybe they're in your state, maybe they're in other parts of the country. But we want to see this all across the country. You think about it, right now, everywhere the nuclear family is being attacked. The very institution that God's created for the foundation of human life, Genesis chapter 1, Genesis chapter 2, Genesis chapter 3. And so we want to honor God, we want to honor the gospel, we want to honor those who are living for Christ. So who are the 10 pastors you're going to reach out to right now? Get signed up, invite 10 pastors, and this Father's Day, we're going to point to some real examples who are honoring God. Let's do it together.